everybody. So if you found this video, you're probably looking to find a great place to watch the Blue Angels fly. And as Pensacola's YouTuber and the guy that has helped relocate a lot of people here, and I want to make sure you know exactly where to watch the Blue Angels when you're coming to town. You're in town, maybe you're in town and you've never really thought about it, and now you want to see the Blue Angels, or you're coming from up north and never heard of the Blue Angels. Well, the Blue Angels are the guys in the big blue jets that fly all together and they make a lot of noise in Pensacola, and they're probably our favorite guys. They're celebrities around here. So I'm going to talk about in this video the best places to watch them. The best places to hover in a parking lot, sit down by the beach, and some hidden ones that nobody really knows about. I'm gonna talk about those. So let's get right to it. Let's talk about if you're looking to find the Blue Angels, where to meet them. Let's do this. Let's get right to it. All right, so we're just gonna go in a bunch of random orders because I think all of them are equally great in their own aspect. And let's talk about number one, the best place to watch them, but you haven't been able to do this in a very long time. They're actually opening it up, I think right now, to the public. Is Pensacola Naval Air Station. If you don't know, the Blue Angels their home is the Pensacola Naval Air Station. I happen to live here in Navy Point, and it's right across the water. Their runway is literally right there, and that's where they take off. If you go to the main gate of Pensacola Naval Air Station, they will usually let visitors in to go to the Air Museum, and in the back of that is the runway for the Blue Angels. The Admiral has gone back and forth about who he had let on for a while, but now they're opening it back up. Check with the main gate and on post. You can just look them up on the website of their the calendar of when they're flying and who they're letting in. You can just call them and they'll let you know. But behind there is the runway, and that is the most epic place to watch them. If you're able to get on base, you can sit by the runway in the stands, and you can hear them on the radio. You can hear them take off. You can hear them like do the whole air show. It's really cool. You can hear their cadence inside the aircraft, and they'll be right on top of you. So check that out. And I've heard it's rumored that you can buy special tickets to be on top of the museum for it. I'm not sure about that. Check on it. My next one I want to talk about is the west side of town. This is kind of a secret one because usually people think of the main places, but a lot of the beaches on the west side of town, one is Navy Point. You can go to the parks and sit down by the water, in the water, and the air show is literally like right on top of you, because the center line for most of the show, because we're off the back of the runway, is really Navy Point, and then they'll hook it down towards downtown, like down along Navy Boulevard into downtown. They'll hook in across the beach, and then they'll come back to the runway, because the center line, like where they take off, is where they're doing with the crowd, right? But they got to turn around, and when they make their bends, they go over a lot of really different places. So each spot will see certain parts of the show. They're screaming across over there to the Naval Air Station. There he goes. There's the other one. They come together right there. How cool is that? It just screamed over my head. Check that out. Right in front of the house. See, the water's just down there. So we just moved into the new neighborhood and we're still getting acquainted here. Navy Point, the neighborhood, where my house happens to be where they turn around, it happens to be right off the runway, and you get to see a lot of cool stuff. The other spot of that, if you've watched a lot of my Blue Angel videos, go watch those videos and you'll see the best spots. But if you watch over the water is where they try to fly when they do a lot of their stuff, because if something happens, they go down in the water. You'll see a lot of boats in Navy Point, Bayou Grande, Navy Point Bayou, right off the back of the runway. Used to, they would let you get in the lagoon off the back of the runway, but due to some wars that have happened recently, they won't let you get that close to the runway. Usually You know, the patrol is out there running you off. Some people take paddle boards and kayaks and little boats and go over there and just watch it. And that's where you can literally have the smoke fall down on you. Or if you're playing golf on the Naval Air Station, the smoke will come down on top of you. It's pretty wild. So the next one I want to talk about is Fort Pickens, the national park. Brant called me the other day and he's like, dude, you need to go check out the boat show that's happening down on the point off of Fort Pickens. And it's like a day drunk place, okay? You know, on that Tuesday morning where everybody wants to party, but there's no party going on, but the Blue Angels flying and you get the whole air show. They go and park all their boats down there and they just have it. And it's kind of like a secret spot, or like Pirates Cove, like off Fort McRae, in between Fort McRae and Naval Air Station, because the runway's right here and you get the whole show right there and people just park in that little lagoon out there. It looks like a little hideaway and it's like water's super clear. It's like a really awesome spot. I don't know if I have any footage of it, but you need to just Google it. It's right by the giant sand pile where people will put like a slip and slide on it and they'll slide down. Check out that video. I think I did a video on that back in the day where we took the John boats over there. But it's pretty awesome. And you can see them go by the lighthouse and all that. It's really cool spot. A lot of people go. Check it out. Another really cool place is Pensacola Bay, downtown Pensacola. You can catch some of it when they're turning around and you can see a lot of it. It's kind of cool. But if you really go from downtown along Navy Boulevard all the way to the west side of town, the Walmart parking lot is really kind of a big deal to watch it on, because like the one right there on Blue Angel and then also the one on Navy Boulevard, a lot of people just sit in the parking lot and watch it because they come like really close and you can see them in the distance and there's a lot of open space. And it's a pretty good spot. So check those out too if you can't get to some of the others. So if you could actually get into the Pensacola Lighthouse to watch it, it would be pretty epic. But it's pretty small up there and there's not a lot of room. And sometimes they change the rules. But like if you can get in the top of the lighthouse, you'll see 360 the whole show and they'll look like they're about to touch you. Same way if you're sitting on top of the Navy Point Bridge. They literally like cross right over the top of you. Pretty cool. I was actually going down the road one day and they crossed right over the top of me as I was coming over the Navy Point Bridge. Freaked me out, but it was pretty cool. But if you happen to be moving here or wanting to buy or sell real estate on the Gulf Coast, happen to be a real estate agent, I'm a YouTuber and a real estate agent, I'd be happy to help you. So just my email's down below, and so just hit me up if you ever need anything. Okay, so the top one, my last but not least, but the most awesome one, is the Pensacola Blue Angel Air Show. If you have seen me vlog this 4 or 5 different years, we've gone by sailboat, we've gone by regular boat, we've gone out there and camped overnight for this magnificent air show. It starts at like, it is a marathon. You get out there and you set your tent up, because if you don't get out there before like sunrise, you're not getting on Pensacola Beach. It's a madhouse. But there'll be 200,000 people on the beach. They'll start the regular aircraft at like 9:30 in the morning flying, and then they will usually fly the Blue Angels like 2:30. So you'll see Fat Albert coming, and then you'll see the Blue Angels coming, and it is like almost like Woodstock meets Blue Angels. It's wild. There's just so many people on the beach. It's just so much fun if you like being in the crowd and seeing all the different stuff. But it's really like you gotta take your time getting over there and taking your time to getting back, because being on the road is rough. There's no parking if you don't get there at like daybreak. And or it might take you hours to get back. But if you can get over there and just stay there, or rent an Airbnb or a hotel room for the entire thing, like that's the way to do it.
That's awesome.
Like I've been many years. It's epic. Now that I live right here and I see them all the time, I haven't made it out there in a few years. COVID stopped it for a little bit, and then the practice air show is always the day before, so it's the same air show. And then you get all the people in the air show, which is pretty cool. So you just got to figure out which one you want to check out. The ones on the west side of Pensacola and like normally just happen during the season is practice, and you get the whole air show pretty much minus the other planes. You get the Blue Angels and they practice, and some days they fly harder than others, but you know, anywhere on the west side of town, you're so used to it. They fly like 3 times a week. It's awesome. And then like here, we get to see them come home on Sunday night about 4:30 to 6:30. They'll come in and then they'll land from whatever air show they just flew at. Super cool. But definitely check out the Blue Angels if you have never seen them before or you've just moved here. They're awesome, and they will definitely be something for your kids to see or your family to see when they're here on vacation. And yeah, that's it. I just wanted to talk to y'all about it, and I hope you guys go see the Blue Angels because they're awesome. And if Blue Angels ever watch this, I would be happy to go up with them because it'd be really cool. Just an Army dude in a Navy aircraft talking a lot of trash. See you guys in the next video.